I'm not entirely sure I chose York as much as York chose me.
So York was my first choice. And when I went up to have a look at the campus, I just fell in love with the place. It was terrific. Really, really liked it.
It was a nice family feel to the university, and really, really loved it. So applied here and fortunately got in. So.
There was a lot of sex, there was a lot of rock and roll, and I'm sure there was a lot of drugs, although I personally didn't get involved in all of that. I was too busy doing other things, and probably drinking instead of taking drugs.
Yes, there was booze. People sometimes say, was it sex, drugs and rock and roll? I would have said it was sex, booze, drugs and rock and roll.
They asked if I depended on it to get through the day, or
Vodka was 22p a shot.
If I remember correctly, what the university said was something like, men shall normally be out of women's corridors and vice versa by, I think it was 11 or 11:30 or something, but this shall largely be enforced by public opinion. Well, public opinion didn't enforce it very much, so I think there was quite a lot of sleeping around that went on.
I can safely say that I didn't partake in an orgy while I was at York. Twice a year, once in the autumn, once in the spring, we had the Derwent Horrors, and this was an evening of horror movies. 3 of them, back to back, plus a disco in the centre of Derwent, which used to be known as the Well, and a late night bar licence. And these things used to go on until 4 in the morning.
It's a real part of the institution now. It's been going for, it must be about 10 years, I'm guessing so now. And it's really great. We get so many student groups performing. And it's right at the end of the summer term, so usually everyone's finished their exams, everyone's kind of has a big relaxing day, the weather's usually fantastic, so it's a really good kind of outdoor feel on campus and everyone has a great day.
Summer term, it was time for the Derwent barbecue. In the JCRC we had folk acts, in the dining hall we had rock acts, there was a disco running in the Well, there was a whole barbecue going on out in the courtyard, plus a steel band. It was lots and lots of different stuff.
I suppose the biggest coup was booking Jimi Hendrix, but he was totally unknown, and we booked him for, I think, 150 quid. He turned up in a broken down old van, but he did then play in Langwith Dining Hall. It was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I think it was one of the most memorable nights I can ever remember.
In 20 years' time, I'm not going to talk about that 2-day open exam that I did in my second year, but I will be talking about kind of going to Prague, going to Woodstock, having access all areas in my first year, and small kind of anecdotes that come along with it. So that's the stuff you'll remember afterwards.